Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back. This is Tara Carr, Tara Talks with Ryan. Ryan listens. How are you doing?
I'm alright. How you doing?
I am great.
I don't appreciate you rushing me to start the show like you just did.
I wasn't rushing you.
Man, I'm trying to make sure I'm prepared so we can give these people a good show.
You should be prepared.
Yeah, because I'm trying to make sure, I just thought of something. It might be a good idea for us to be a big enough deal by the time this wedding rolls around. We might be able to get something sponsored.
Okay.
So yeah, be rushing me.
Look, it's past my bedtime.
Whose fault is that?
Mine.
Exactly. Anybody tell you to have a 6-year-old bedtime? Anyway, welcome back to another episode. Yeah, she just sitting here staring at me like, bro.
Was that the end of your sentence?
That was the end of it was a complete sentence. Welcome back to another episode.
Okay, guys. So, quick recap of our weekend. We had a lovely wedding weekend. And so we actually had, I think we're at that age of weddings, going to weddings.
We really are.
Because, I mean, I had a wedding here and there in my early 20s, but man, these late 20s and early 30s packed with weddings. We had a wedding on Friday, a wedding on Saturday, and it was a beautiful.
We had a wedding on Saturday and
wedding
Sunday.
On Sunday. Whew, my brain. But it was a beautiful weekend.
I was like, I missed the one on Friday.
Yeah, you did. I did too. So I just want to say, celebrating love and watching other people celebrate their love, it kind of, I don't know about you, but it made me excited to get married.
Yeah, it definitely re-excited me about ours.
It kind of reminded me of why we're doing all of this.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of all the stressful planning.
Like we sitting here like trying to figure out how we going to pay to feed all these people.
How are we going to pay for it? And then also like working out all the little details. Y'all, we've probably looked at 13 or 14 venues. Not even exaggerating.
Yeah, no, really. It's been 14. And
the funny thing is, each one is so different. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that.
Yeah, because 5 of them are the exact same thing. But carry on.
The point is, going to these weddings this weekend reminded me that like all these little details, it's going to be worth it in the end, just to like be able to turn up with our family and friends. One of the ministers said this is the first time and possibly like last time that all of your friends and family are gonna like be in one room, because like when you have kids or you move, whatever other thing in life you celebrate, is not really this kind of celebration.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? It was a really good point. I was like, you know what? That's beautiful. Like taking the moment.
Like we should have a moment in the ceremony where we just turn around and look at the crowd and
right, just pause
and take it in.
Because a lot of people, if you think about it, it's going to be like friends, family, friends from out of town, sorority sisters, fraternity brothers, friends from college, friends from here. Like it's literally going to be a mixture of all the parts of our lives.
Right.
I think that's pretty dope. That's so cool.
Maybe a couple people from high school.
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean,
hopefully we can track down our 4th grade teacher.
Yes.
She was the teacher when we met. I was trying to say in whose, but I don't know if that's whom or not. So
in
I don't
whose
feel
class
like
we met.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think that's really beautiful. And so congratulations again to Imani and Joe and Taylor and Logan. We wish you all a lifetime of happiness and joy and all of the good things that life has to offer. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Both weddings were beautiful. Like,
oh yeah,
like beautiful in the sentimental way, but also beautiful in like aesthetic, like absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
very nice. So what we got for news this week?
Man, did you see so obviously Beyonce is Nala. Did you see Beyonce? It was a really just adorable post of her and Blue Ivy. So Blue Ivy's kind of like lip singing the Circle of Life.
Oh no, I did see that. I think you sent it to me.
Yes, and there, of course, Beyonce posted on her Instagram that, and then a bunch of just super dope photos of her dressed inspired by The Lion King. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to that movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it also.
I was talking to somebody today who said she didn't grow up watching Disney movies. And I was just like, what is wrong with you? What happened to your childhood? Like, she said she grew up watching Medea movies. She was always like in grown folks' business, watching in the grown movies and reality shows. I'm like, what? Who?
You know what? That's kind of you though. But you didn't skip the Disney movies.
Right. I did watch some Color Purple and some Beloveds and Eve's Bayou, but I also had my Disney movies, Aladdin, Lion King, Mulan. I'm glad they're redoing all of these. I still have to make you watch the Beauty and the Beast remake. Okay, that one is really. I forgot
that even happened.
It's very well done.
Yeah, we got like a list of stuff that we're supposed to watch together, either because we need to watch it together or because I haven't seen it. And there's like a couple of things on like a small sticky note of things that I want her to watch. And every time I try to watch any of them, she's like, "No, not right now." So we're like way behind on this list of stuff that I need to watch.
It's kind of like how I am with food. Like, I try to savor it and then it expires. So.
Yeah, she'll bring leftovers home. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm taking the rest of it home. I was like, okay, cool. Just don't leave it in the refrigerator for like 3 days and then throw it out next week.
That's my life. But I feel like
then she gets upset when I eat them.
But I feel like everybody has a long list of things you want to watch on Netflix that you just never get around to watching.
I don't think anybody's list is as long as yours.
True.
So the My List section on Netflix.
True.
Tara's has ridiculous. Like probably over 200 titles.
Easily 200. Yeah. Maybe 3.
Possibly 3.
I wish they would categorize that kind of like Pinterest, where you have sections for TV, movies, documentaries, drama versus sitcom.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but they don't. So then when I'm looking for a movie for us to watch, I have to flip through all of that. Anyway, I don't know how I got on that from Blue Ivy, but yeah, the Blue Ivy post was adorable. Aww. Also, Rihanna said that Americans have been pronouncing her name wrong. Did you know that?
I'm unaware.
I knew it, and I don't care.
Oh, does she pronounce it Rihanna?
Yeah.
So I heard like a radio bump of her. You know how like on the radio stations it'll be like, "Hey, what's up? This is this person, and you're listening to whatever."
Yeah.
So there was like a little brief one where it had like 6 people say, "Hey, what's up? It's me," and then it was like, "Hey, what's up?" Blah blah. And Rihanna was like, "Hey, what's up? It's your girl Rihanna."
Yeah, that's
and
how
I just thought it was her accent.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize.
Which I still think it is her accent.
Yeah.
Rihanna.
Yeah, I think it's the accent.
Rihanna. We country. We say Anna.
Cause like,
or you could just say Riri.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. But
I'm starting saying Robin.
But I mean, she's been out for what? 15 years? Longer than that?
Sure.
Because Umbrella was 07, and then so Pond to Replay and all that had to have been earlier. 06. Hey, Mr. DJ.
I'm going to go with 06.
Probably 06. So probably 13, 14 years. Point is, we ain't changing. We ain't stopped.
Right. It's just going to be too hard to.
That's like when I found out Mario is really pronounced Mario. I don't care.
He pronounces his name Mario.
He does. It's Mario. Now, mind you, I'm a big proponent of pronouncing people's names correctly because.
Right. I got a partner named Javier, but he spells it Javier, but his name is Javier.
When people.
So start with that. Like.
When people call me Tara, that, oh my gosh, nothing will infuriate me more.
Also, at the end of Just a Friend 2000.
Yes.
He said Mario.
He did. So he called himself Mario. That's why I'm not switching Marios.
Right.
Rihanna is just embedded in my brain, and she let us call her Rihanna for too long.
Yeah.
She should have did like I
13
do.
13 years almost.
And say, actually, it's Tara.
Yeah, when people say, "So how's Tara?" I'm like, "Tara's doing great." Don't say that in front of her.
It's people that have known me for years.
Like, where's Tara? I'm like, I don't know, but Tara is at the house.
I don't get it.
And they're like, oh, my bad. I'm like, yeah, just don't say it in front of her. Trust me.
Oh my goodness. And I'm not gonna be rude. I'm not gonna punch somebody in the face for mispronouncing my name. It's just it's annoying. It is, especially for people who know me. But like I just met someone the other day. All right, first time I met, gave him my card, and he was like, "And how do you pronounce it?" I was like, "It's Tara." Like, you could just ask if you don't know. But yeah.
Speaking
sorry,
of
Rihanna.
I
mean Rihanna.
Yeah, speaking of Rihanna. Speaking of Riri, we probably should put some respect on her name because she is named the world's wealthiest female musician, surpassing even Beyonce.
Love it.
Shout out to Riri.
I mean,
and I love the fact that she's doing that and being philanthropic at the same time. It's not just, oh, give me all this money, give me all this money, give me all this money.
And she has different types of ventures. So it's not just from music. Like, yes, she's still a great musical artist, and but it's Fenty Beauty. It's the lingerie. Savage. Thank you.
And there's like two other things I don't remember.
I love her. I have 2 of her bras from Savage, and I love them. They're super cute.
They look nice.
Thank you. And I don't know. I haven't tried Fenty Beauty yet. I'm ashamed to say that, because when it first came out, I remember being like, finally, something in multiple shades. Like, it's so hard to find.
I cannot believe you
good
haven't
foundation.
tried Fenty Beauty yet.
I know, and I don't even have a reason. I don't even have a valid reason. I just haven't gone to. Yeah, I just haven't done it. But yeah, I need to check it out. But, I hear a lot of people really like it. So anyway, and I mean, there's so many other things she's doing. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm
so
excited.
Congratulations to Riri.
Yes.
Speaking of Riri and Beyonce, Jay-Z is officially hip hop's first billionaire.
Yeah.
I could have sworn Dr. Dre hit that mark a while ago.
I thought Akon did.
And Akon, yeah. I thought Dre and Akon had already gotten there. But
I could have sworn I heard something a few years ago about Akon. But
I think
maybe
Akon
he was just
may have earned billions, but I guess not had it all at once. Maybe
I don't know,
because he's in Africa building like cities and stuff. So maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know.
But yeah, shout out to Jay-Z.
Dre has had to have earned at least $1 billion, but maybe not had it all at one time in terms of assets and net worth. But yeah, congrats to all three of them, and Diddy and Jay Prince, all the hip hop moguls who were out here, building legacies and giving back at the same time. It's just beautiful. It's always great because we supporting this person for their music because we enjoy it, but at the same time they're turning around and giving it right back to the community. So congratulations to all of them, namely Riri and Jay.
Yes.
And Beyonce for this Lion King. This is going to be awesome. So
it is. I really can't wait to see Lion King. And I just can't wait to be king. I had to do it. I was talking to somebody today about how, Lion King was amazing, of course. Lion King 2 was really good too. In your panty. When I was little, my cousins and I thought they were saying in your panties. I don't know why we giggled so hard at that, and we'd be like sneaking so our parents wouldn't know what we were laughing at. In your panty.
I gotta be honest, I don't recall.
You don't recall Lion King 2?
But I don't remember any of it.
A lot of people didn't, but let me tell you, that was a good, solid movie. It was good.
I'm sure it was.
Now we got to go watch it. So
it's kind of like watching Dragon Ball and then watching Dragon Ball Z and then watching the third Dragon Ball. It's like you see the child grow up and it's weird.
Okay, and then Lion King 1.5 was actually good.
That was a thing?
It was a thing. The
only thing I remember is Timon and Pumbaa having a show on Disney.
Yeah, they did have a show. Man, Timon and Pumbaa, they had all the spinoffs. Because Lion King 1.5 was, I feel like, either mostly or all about them. And I was just talking to one of my friends earlier today about how Lion King 1.5 was good. And he texted me and said it's literally on the shelf right now. $24.99 for the DVD. Why?
Oh, wow. That's a Blu-ray.
Why? Oh, Blu-ray. Why? So here's the thing.
I was completely unaware of this.
You were aware of Lion King 1.5, or that it's still
unaware
out?
That there was ever a 1.5. I knew there was a 2. Did it come out before 2?
It came out after 2.
Okay, that makes sense then.
It came out in 2004.
Okay, I was gonna say it had to be at least 2002.
Yeah.
Because
Lion King was
at that point I'm
96?
15 and I wasn't paying attention to stuff unless it was Rugrats or SpongeBob. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Lion King. No, not 2019. 94. Okay, so Lion King. So it was 10 years after the original. And then
Timon and Pumbaa are on the cover. So yeah, it was probably primarily
I think
about
it was
them.
Mostly or all about them, which made it kind of unappealing. Lion King 2 was 98. Simba's Pride. Man, that was good. It was a good movie. That had a lot of, that soundtrack was good.
I would say let's just go watch it, but we'll never get to it.
You know what? I think when we have kids, then we will go back and watch all of our favorite animated movies. Because I don't know why I have a hard time watching animated movies without a kid. Like, everybody keeps saying Boss Baby was so good, and I'm not gonna sit down and watch Boss Baby.
I have a hard time watching it in a theater. I'm fine at the house. I just have a hard time going to a theater and paying money and buying popcorn to watch a kid movie.
Now, we did go see Incredibles 2.
Now, Incredibles,
that was different. That's different.
That was a whole nother story. That was fire.
But yeah, I feel like when we have kids, I'm gonna go back and watch Lion King, Mulan. What's my other? Oh, Aladdin,
The Princess.
The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
Man, I was so hyped when that movie came out. They need to make a live action Princess and the Frog
They haven't?
and Hercules and
Oh, the movie. I thought you were talking about, yeah. They've done stage plays and stuff. Yeah,
right.
that's
No,
awesome.
I'm talking about
They
how
they probably
Disney's
are.
redoing all of these.
They probably, it's on the list, I'm sure.
Look, I know Mulan is on the list, and I cannot say it enough. I need Eddie Murphy to be the dragon.
Gotta
if
be.
he is not Mushu, I'm gonna flip.
Like, he gotta be Mushu. But yeah, so what's next? What we got up next? We were talking about movies and stuff.
Next up is not so good news. It's pretty sad. I mean, I'm sure everyone at this point knows about the Virginia Beach shooting, and just want to say RIP to those who lost their lives. I actually used to live in the Hampton Roads area, lived in Newport News for a few years, and lived in Chesapeake for a few years, which Chesapeake is right by Virginia Beach. Had my internship at WTKR in Norfolk, Virginia, which is right by Virginia Beach. Like, literally, my mom has a timeshare in Virginia Beach still. So, like,
that was our first vacation together.
Yeah.
It was Virginia Beach.
Yeah. And my mom's at that timeshare right now. Again, she goes back every year. So shout out to my mom doing yoga on the beach right now. But yeah, I mean, Virginia is home. We lived there for 8 years. And so it's really sad. It's really, I mean, people were just going to work. That's the worst part about it. And I saw something that said that this was one of the worst workplace killings in the last 10 years. That's just ridiculous. Like,
why is this still happening?
I don't understand why when stuff like this happens, our first response isn't
more guns.
Why isn't our first response, hey, maybe we should make it a little bit more difficult for people to get access to guns?
Y'all ain't gonna infringe on my rights.
And we're not talking about hunting. This is not about hunting. This is not about,
save it for the zombie apocalypse if that's what you wait. If you're one of those, you waiting on that. Yeah, that's fine.
Like, the gun enthusiasts, have at it. But
right.
if you're really into guns, then you would be willing to go through whatever hoops it takes to get a gun. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Kind of
versus somebody who is just upset because they got fired or whatever the case may be, or, mad at a partner, them going to get a gun in the heat of the moment.
As I say, I'm not a murderer. I just had a bad day.
Like, no.
It's not the same thing.
So I wish that America could wake up and realize that it's not okay. Like, I mean, I just keep going back to the fact that after Sandy Hook, we still didn't do nothing. When you saw those pictures of those kids, like, how did that not move, people in Congress?
Yeah. Here's the thing. The government doesn't really care about people.
No.
The government cares about guns. And that's pretty much it. Guns and money. And control of basically nothing but saying they have control of everything. So yeah. It sure is allegedly the greatest country in the world. Ain't got nobody freedoms.
Right.
Because we can't even safely be outside. Anybody for that matter, especially black people. Like, we get arrested and shot and killed for existing. The land of the free. Yeah, right. Anyway.
It's ridiculous. Also, have you watched When They See Us? Have you?
Of course not. The reviews are great, but terrifying at the same time. It's just like, I can't. I'm afraid to do that because I'm afraid to.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people on my timeline say they watched it and it was really good, but it was really hard and very emotional and difficult for them to watch and things like that. And that just doesn't make me want to watch it because I feel like it's one of those things you got to be in the right headspace to watch.
Yeah, I'm going to have to wait until I can have an appointment with my therapist immediately after I finish watching it and time it correctly. Or maybe watch it at my therapist's office or something. I don't know.
I saw something on Twitter. Someone said black people are literally afraid to watch a Netflix show about the justice system. It's a horror film to us. Let that sink in. Watching When They See Us is a horror film to us. And that is so accurate. It's kind of like What's the one? I almost said 13 Years a Slave. 13th?
12 Years a Slave.
No, 13.
And then 13.
13.
Yeah, I was just saying there's two different.
I waited and waited and waited to watch 13 because I was waiting to watch it with you, and I remember you were like, I'm not in the right headspace to watch it.
Yeah.
And I just didn't watch it. And so many people said, oh, it was so good. But it's just one of those things where it's like, I know that this exists and it's happening, but it's very traumatizing. So, I'm gonna take a minute. I'm not ready to see it yet.
Yeah. It's just gonna be one of those conversations I can't
take part in.
Right. In which I can't take part.
So
I'm looking at your phone and ready to laugh.
The Cheeto in charge went to the UK for a visit, right? And my girl, Queen Elizabeth, wore a brooch that was given to her as a gift from Barack and Michelle.
Nice.
Obama. And I just think that's hilarious.
She's the queen of shade.
She is the queen of shade, and it's subtle shade, because it's not like she just flat out said, I hate you, you suck, you're the worst.
The rest
she
of
just
England
said,
did.
actually, I am here for the Obamas, and I still stand for them, even though they are not in office anymore. So yeah, there were, of course, protests outside of the palace, which I love that other countries are protesting. Well, I hate that, but I
hate
love
the fact that there's something to protest.
Right, I hate the fact
but
that
I
that
love the
has to
fact
happen.
that we're not alone.
Exactly, and they're just as upset as we are, if not more.
Laughing stock of the world.
I also saw something that said they were like unable to host him, and because of ongoing renovation that's been taking place since 2016. And the funny thing is, Buckingham Palace. Okay, let me ask you this. Guess how many rooms would you think Buckingham Palace has?
Rooms as in bedrooms, or rooms as in rooms, like including like spaces and offices and stuff like that?
I don't know.
Okay, I think so. I don't really know much about royalty over there. I'm assuming Buckingham Palace is the name of their residence, so I'm gonna say it has like 16 bedrooms.
775. It has 775 rooms, including 52 royal and guest bedrooms.
Oh wow, I was way off.
Like,
how many bathrooms it got?
I don't know, but the funny thing is the fact that they were legit like, hey, you might want to catch an Airbnb. And you got 700 rooms, 52 guest bedrooms. I mean, I can't imagine having 2 guest bedrooms.
So it's also a resort too, because that kind of blew my mind.
It's not a resort. But it's I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
If you want to rewatch Crown with me,
no.
I can rewatch Crown if that'll help.
That show was so slow and dark
and
long and dreary. It is
slow and dark and long and dreary, and I love it.
Like, I hate when you watch stuff like that, because I don't even want to be in the house with you.
Yeah, it is pretty dark. Crown is dark. Mad Men is dark. Handmaid's Tale is dark. Like, a lot of the really good quality shows are dark. But I've always been fascinated by the royal family. Like, literally was so obsessed with Princess Di.
Mad Men was dark with decent lighting. Because all the other stuff was just dark and low, like lowly lit and graded to have like less like. Ugh.
Anyway, I've always been obsessed with the royal family, especially Princess Di. And as I get
can I just say how weird I think it is that people call her Princess Di, and then she died, and y'all still call her Princess Di.
Diana.
Yeah, but I ain't never met nobody else named Diana who goes by Di.
A lot of people.
I know several Dianas and never heard nobody like, hi, I'm Di.
No, they don't go by Di. It's a nickname.
I've never heard anybody. I've heard people named Diana go by D or Anna.
D or Anna?
But not Di.
Diana is not D.
It starts with a D.
Yeah, like your name. Like,
genius.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Don't do that.
I did it. Check me. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. I just feel like that's weird that people still call her Princess Di. It's almost like you're saying Princess Di. And then she did. And then people still say it. But whatever. Maybe I'm sure I'm reading way too much into that. But I just think it's weird. Like, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying. Sound like a bad luck charm to me.
A bad luck charm.
An omen.
Anyway, the point is, I have recently become fascinated with Queen Elizabeth just for this sheer fact that she's what? 95?
I was going to say 103.
I mean...
Exaggerating, obviously.
She's met like so many presidents. Like, think about how much she's lived.
She's on her, what, 14th president?
Something like
that. We
that.
counted this yesterday and I already forgot.
I did too. Yeah. 93 and still kicking. I love it. I hope that I'm still in my right mind, as the old folks say, enough to throw shade at someone who needs shade thrown at them.
I'm worried about you now.
Even if it's just a brooch. I know I need to take some ginkgo biloba. My memory is trash. But it always has been. So, anyhow.
You ain't play them little flip the card over games and find the match, did you?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I did.
I used to kill those games. They got boring to me after a while.
I was really bad.
Oh, okay. So that explains it. They got boring to me after a while. I'm like, man, this is easy. It's like, I know exactly where it was. It's like, you just pick one. Okay, so there's that. Got it. So, there it is. I knocked the whole game out in like 5 minutes. Everybody else is like, oh my gosh, I can't find it. But yeah, anyway.
What you got for obscure news?
Let's talk about obscure news. Obscure. All right, so this will be interesting. You just had Taco Bell.
I did. Taco Bell is like my addiction.
All right, so this headline reads, Louisiana cops, as in that's what they said, don't call us to complain about Taco Bell.
Who was calling
the sub-headline, definitely Nacho Problem.
That's funny.
One citizen told the police in Slidell, Louisiana, after the report of a taco shell shortage. A Taco Bell without shells seems, well, criminal, but it's not something to call the police about. That's an announcement that the police department in Louisiana made last week in response to a citizen's call for help. So basically, somebody was like, they called 911 to tell the police that Taco Bell ran out of taco shells, out of hard and soft.
Let me tell you what.
Get a chalupa.
Taco Bell running out of shells is ridiculous.
True.
But what kind of idiot do you have to be to call the cops?
Like, what the cops gonna do?
You call the Better Business Bureau. You call corporate.
No, hold on.
You tweet them.
What the cops gonna do? The cops gonna show up
with
and
guns?
Arrest people because Taco Bell ran out of taco shells. Now Taco Bell ain't got no workers. So you can't even get nachos now. You can't even get no burrito. So what do you think the outcome was going to be?
One time I went to Taco Bell and they ran out of sauce. And let me tell you, that is ridiculous. Because for years I've been going to Taco Bell and they give me 20 sauces and I don't need 20. I do need more than one, okay?
There's times where whatever I order I don't even need the sauce with whatever I'm ordering.
And they give you 42 sauces.
Like say it's a burrito or something. I don't want to put the sauce on nachos. Maybe on a taco or a chalupa or something like that. But I don't want to put it on nachos or burrito. And still, there's like, you want a sauce? I'm like, sure, a couple fire will be fine.
And they gave you 36 fire.
It's a handful of
22
fire. 22 miles. And 46 hot. What am I gonna do with all that?
Meanwhile,
I ordered one thing, and I didn't even really want it.
The one time I went and they were out of sauce, I was like, "How? How are you out of sauce? Like, close down."
I guess because you be dumping the cases in everybody's bag. That's probably why.
But I didn't call the cops.
Yeah, that's not a cop-worthy call. Like, there was times where you don't get enough cheese on your nachos, which seems to happen way too much.
That is my pet peeve, because if I order nachos, that means I want chips with cheese. And I want cheese on every chip.
Like, I hate the fact that people feel the need to make it look pretty.
Like, I
don't want pretty nachos. I want cheesy nachos.
Should be primarily, like, cheese should cover all of it. And then the other toppings, you could be sparingly with the other toppings. Yeah. I don't need tomatoes over everything, but I don't even need sour cream over everything. But like, if I'm getting dry chips,
smile with a dollop.
The little dollop. That's a dollop of daisy. That's all I need is a dollop of daisy. But if I'm getting Mostly dry chips. Then what did I order?
Like, that's stupid. I don't understand
And
why.
then I thought I got smart, right? So then I started ordering extra cheese.
Sure, pay the extra 60 cents.
Paid the extra 60 cents.
But then they hand you a regular amount of cheese.
Regular, less than that. I just don't get it.
It's
What's
ridiculous.
so hard? What is so difficult?
Yeah, it was at the point where when
about
they had the
making
nacho
nachos?
fries, I would order the nacho fries just so I could give her my extra, the cheese sauce that it came with.
I mean, I'm tempted to go back there in the back and be like, look, ladle.
It's like they just put the little cheese in the middle of the nachos. I don't want a decorative plate of. I don't go to fast food restaurants for attractive food. I go there for cheesy food. I want cheese on it.
I have gotten the correct amount of nacho cheese maybe once or twice.
Twice,
And
because there was
that's
one
sad.
time I was just like, look, I'm paying for extra cheese. I need there to be cheese on every single chip. So please don't do that to me.
Like I should not.
Like I had to ask the guy
have
nicely. I was
to-
like, please help me with this.
I should not have to explain to you how to make the order.
I'll save both of us time and you money, because you ultimately, if I'm not satisfied with you, got to remake it. So just do it right the first time. And I also hate the fact that when I say don't put lettuce on my tacos or don't put lettuce on anything, why do you go out of your way to add an additional ingredient that I didn't initially want?
Right.
It's just like you could have just saved a whole step, a whole swing of the wrist to grab the lettuce and not put it on my tacos. And if I say don't put pico on it, I hate, like, first of all, pico ain't supposed to come on half the stuff I be getting pico on. So why in the world, who's putting pico on stuff that does not have pico on the menu? I said tomatoes. Yes, tomatoes are fine. I don't want the lettuce. I don't want pico. Don't hand me nothing with no pico and no damn raw onions. Don't nobody want that.
I don't get it.
I don't understand. It's just like, why are you going out of your way to make your own life harder?
Harder.
Because I'm coming back to get the correct order.
Right.
And then Taco Bell will not take food back into the kitchen once they've delivered it. So you end up getting free stuff because people
But
are
I would
messing it
rather
up.
just have what
I
I
would
ordered.
rather have my correct order right the first time. I don't want to have to wait again and then got extra food that I can't even eat because of the raw onions are going to make me sick. I don't want it. Like, I'm just going to give it to somebody else. Like, why? Why not just do it right the first time? Anyway,
But no
back
shells?
to no shells. Back to this no shell thing.
Hard or soft? It's one thing for them to be out of one or the other. But both.
Yeah,
You want taco salad?
right. It's just like, bro, order chips, order a quesadilla, order a burrito,
Or go to another location.
Go to a
There's
different
got to
location.
be a different
or
location.
go eat an apple, go eat some fruit. Because I'm willing to bet the people who called Taco Bell, called the police on Taco Bell for not having shells, didn't need to be at Taco Bell in the first place. I'm willing to bet. Because if they got that upset about it, come on, really?
Yeah.
Now I don't know what type of restaurant Slidell, Louisiana got, but I'm sure there was another option somewhere.
Gotta be. Because I would have definitely said, okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Right. You remember the time we went to Taco Bell, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, and then they barely put any meat on it,
Yeah.
on the taco. And then we were like, matter of fact, we were in Louisiana. We was leaving my
Something
mama's
about
house.
Louisiana.
Right outside of Shreveport. And then all of a sudden, we halfway, I was like, but there's no meat on these tacos. It was literally like a table, not even a tablespoon, like a teaspoon amount of meat. And of course, I didn't want no lettuce. Then they didn't give me tomatoes at all. Then they were supposed to be taco supreme with no sour cream on there either. So they basically gave me like a sprinkle of ground beef and maybe the correct amount of cheese. I don't know. And it was just like what is this? I saw a post on a comment on or it was a comment, I think, or a post, I don't know. But the quote, and it's like I laughed so hard when I read this, but it was so real. It was somebody tweeted, I think it was McDonald's. They tweeted McDonald's or somebody and said, and give me one good reason why I shouldn't run up in there with the yappa for this disrespect. And I died so hard, but I felt it in my soul. I'm like, disrespect, that's the perfect way to put it. Like, tell me why I shouldn't. Because it's like, at this point, you basically took my money and gave me a fraction of what I ordered. Why? We could go on and on about this, but let's go ahead and read the next news story.
All right.
Let's look at some of the responses to the police department. The police department sent out a tweet saying it's been a while, but another "we can't make this stuff up" story. Somebody called in to complain about the Taco Bell on whatever boulevard out of both hard and soft shells. While this is truly a travesty, the police can't do anything about this. Hopefully they are replenished in time for Taco Tuesday. Again, the police can't arrest people for not having taco shells.
Ain't
now there's no
going
workers and you can't even
Taco
order
Bell
a Baja Blast.
Taco Tuesday, but that's cute. Yeah, that was little tweet.
Hilarious. So the responses were, it should be renamed as Taco Dumbbell.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Somebody else said, wow, people are really serious about their processed foods. True. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's probably a sign that you need to go eat a salad. Wow, I'm not sure what the bigger crime is, calling the police for that stupidity or eating at Taco Bell. LOL.
I know a lot of people hate Taco Bell.
I don't get it. Somebody responded, said, Slidell Police Department, this is definitely Nacho Problem.
It is not.
So yeah. HuffPost reached out to Taco Bell and they didn't immediately respond. So
because they were too busy trying to reorder and restock.
Right. So, still graduation season. Still a lot of high school kids graduating. All the college people have been out for like a month now.
Yes.
But in Pasadena, Texas, wait, let me read the headline first. Walmart sells graduation cake to mom without telling her it's styrofoam.
What?
The big box retailer blamed the unappetizing incident on a misunderstanding. So there's a video on HuffPost that will give you all the details, shows the daughter and the mama and the family cutting the cake, and it's literally styrofoam with frosting and decorations on top. Got the girl's picture on there.
How mad I would be?
What's one of those? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't run up in there with the yappa for this disrespect. That's precisely the perfect time.
What's
for that.
A yappa?
A yappa. Okay, so I don't want to talk about it on the show. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I'm finna read to Tara what a yapper is. All right, we'll get back to that because I gotta find the actual.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway,
I didn't know Block Boy JB released a song called Yappa, so that's kind of what slowed me down. But anyway, yeah.
Point is, I recently ordered a cake for your birthday.
Yeah, you did. It was dope. Go look at my Instagram or Tara's Instagram. It's on one of our Instagrams.
Had I cut into it and found styrofoam after paying for it?
And it was not a cheap cake.
It was not. It was probably way more expensive than this Walmart cake. But the point is, when you are running around trying to prepare for any event, a birthday party, graduation party, whatever the case may be, and you order a cake, you expect there to be cake for people to eat.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. And to say it was just a misunderstanding is ridiculous, because how could they have misunderstood that she wanted food and not styrofoam?
Right. Where's the misunderstanding?
Who wants decorated styrofoam? The thing is, like, okay, so I get that stores may decorate styrofoam cakes to use in their display. That's understandable. Sure.
Right, but don't give me that.
Don't give me that.
Oh.
Like, what kind of idiot would say, oh, I can put your daughter's picture on this and write her name on it and say happy graduation and congrats and then sell it to you? That makes no sense to me. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. So it's just like, why, where's the misunderstanding? I just can't fathom. All right, first of all, who grabbed a block of styrofoam and then chose to ice it and put the little blue lines around the corners, put the little plastic congratulations graduate thing, and print the girl's picture on it? It was like, why?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure that was just in their display.
And they already didn't have time to practice. And this is the thing. It's like, no, somebody had to know, because the cases, I don't think they would have done that, because somebody had to have known that everything in the display case was not actual cake.
Maybe somebody who knew that it was styrofoam had clocked out, and then the person just got there and was like, oh, you can just take this one and I'll put her name on it.
Mm-mm. First of all, you're decorating it. You're going to feel the cake being harder than it's supposed to be.
Not really?
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
So you think they intentionally sold them styrofoam?
Had to have. They had to have,
I
because
can't
already, like,
can't
the
believe
rest of the
that.
story is talking about how the mama went to go pick up the cake that morning, the morning of graduation, and nobody even had an order there. So at that point, if you just grab the first thing, you got to know where the styrofoam stuff is, and not where the actual, like, you got to know that wasn't the actual cake. And you can't tell me they spent that much time decorating some styrofoam.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I think they didn't realize it was styrofoam. Because some places
You,
in their display, they use real cake.
I can't imagine you spreading icing on a cake and feeling how firm
No,
it
I'm
is.
saying that a lot of places when you get the display cakes are already iced. So all they had to do was add her name to it.
Right, I get that. But what I'm saying is, all of the stuff they added, first of all, they had to stick the little graduation pin thing in there. The little plastic thing, you stick that inside of the cake like a candle. So if they felt that styrofoam right there, they had to have known. There's no way.
I don't know. Either way, I would have been upset.
Unless it
and
was just that.
calling it a misunderstanding is not okay.
Right. I was like, oh, you want a cake, not foam. Sorry. Here's a $60 gift card. Is ultimately how the story ended.
Yeah, and the gift card would not have really
Yeah, you can't
been
replace that
enough.
moment.
Honestly, I think they should have done like $1,000 gift card.
Yeah, easy.
Because the cake was probably what, 30?
If that. Because it looked basic.
So they probably doubled it. Yeah, it's a basic cake. Ugh. I would have been so upset.
And then on top of that, it's like you just graduated. You know your mama got you a cake. You sitting there waiting, your mouth watering for the cake, and then all of a
All your
sudden,
guests.
everybody waiting for cake.
Like, that's the best part of any party. People waiting for the cake.
And then you cut into some styrofoam. There's a video. Go Google styrofoam cake. Just Google it and look it up. It's hilarious. It's not funny.
That's sad.
It's really sad because the mama's in there in tears. You know, that was her baby graduation. So yeah, it. I just can't imagine. Can't imagine how. Like, look at it. This is the thing I'm talking about. You got to stick that inside of the thing because you know you got to. There's a base for that. So you can't tell me that somebody didn't feel how firm that cake was. And then you got to print this little sheet thing right here. That's not just a straight up picture. That's not somebody just dropping a print out from the photo booth back there in the back of the store. That's like the kind you got to print it onto the cake. So I'm not buying that. I appreciate you trying to bail them out, but
I mean, I just find it really hard to believe that somebody is that rude to just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna get over this woman and sell her some styrofoam and decorate it."
Yeah,
that's sad.
The disrespect. Again, I do not condone violence, but that running there with the yappa thing is hilarious to me. So, anyway, back to the remainder of this episode of TTRL. I can't wait till we get sponsors so we can like put commercial breaks in here. That's gonna be kind of dope.
Is that all you have for obscure news?
Yeah, so I was only doing 2 today.
Okay, so now it's time for our listener letters. Again,
the listener letters are letters from the listeners, from listeners like you. PBS voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So again, thanks for listening, and be sure to go to your computer or your phone and send us an email or a DM with questions, whatever you have going on. And you can send those to askttrl@gmail.com, askttrl@gmail.com, or you can DM us on social media, or you can text us if you know us in real life. So our first question is from Uncle Phil, and this question is, what are some secret talents that no one knows about y'all? For example, if Ryan can country two-step, or Tara is an accomplished quilter.
Oh, wow. So while I cannot country two-step, at least not very well, because I was trying to do some sort of country two-step when Old Town Road came on at the wedding, at Amani's wedding, the first one we went to. It kind of looked cool, but then I was just like, okay, I'm not really doing as well. So dancing is not something I do well. However, a lot of people don't know and are slowly finding out that I know how to DJ.
That's right. You DJ'd.
In fact, the second wedding that we just talked about, the one on Sunday, was actually me DJing the wedding.
Yes, and when I told people, they were like, "Wait, what?"
So most people around here where we live, and pretty much everywhere, everybody who knows me as a photographer / graphic designer, sometimes videographer. So yeah, the visual arts. But a lot of people don't know that my first love is music, which I'm going to talk about the rest of that in a second. But DJing actually came about when we were working at the radio station and we had an event that we were the media sponsor for. So Tara was the personality hosting it along with our friend Angie. Shout out Angie, Evening Brew. Check her out. She's dope. So it was like the three of us, the media sponsors, right? I was supposed to just be there to kind of, help out, So my job at this point was to hire a DJ because I didn't realize they wanted a DJ. I just thought they wanted us there, So they're like, yeah, can y'all send a DJ? I was like, yeah, sure. Let me go check. So I hit up all 4 of our DJs at the time. Well, really 3 of our DJs. And then I hit up another one of my friends to see if he could fill in. It was the weekend of spring break. So nobody was here. Like all of my DJs at that point were in college from the radio station. So they were all out of town. And the one guy who was in town and available, we didn't have it in the budget to pay him. So I was like, okay, I understand. I ain't going, yeah, I feel you. I can't say I would either, especially with it being as last minute as was. It was literally the day before. So I go to Guitar Center, one of my happy places, and I pick up a Serato Pioneer DJ board, right? The controller. Come home, plug it up, and download the Serato software. And I stayed up for about 5 or 6 hours trying to make sure I knew what to do. Now, I had like a tiny bit of experience from back in the day. A bunch of my friends from, in college and growing up are DJs. Sergeant B up in Texarkana, he kind of showed me how to use virtual DJ back in the day. Then I got in college and got around people like my partner DJ Dunny D, my partner, I got a bunch of partners as DJs, like seriously a bunch of them. So being around people and always being at parties as a photographer and stuff, I used to like kind of, have my eye on DJ Merck, watching him DJ the party. I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of see what he did there. Being around DJ Mr. Rogers, I'm like, okay, I heard how the beat drops right there. I see how he did it. Cool. So I'm sitting there watching, and I was like, okay, I kind of get what to do. So I practiced that night, and after the event, it went well. There's like a clip on Instagram from like 2017 when I first kind of had to do that. After the event, I was like, yeah, I know that was my first time doing that, right?
And they were like, what?
I was like, yeah. I was like, thanks for the compliment. I was quite nervous, wasn't 100% sure what I was doing, but I made it work, and it sounded pretty dope.
So, but didn't you used to DJ like back in middle school or high school?
Not with tables, not with turntables or a controller. It was just kind of like the mouse and the keyboard, like the keyboard shortcuts to kind of mix a song together.
Gotcha.
But not scratching and cutting. I didn't really have an opportunity to ever learn that because the only vinyl record player I had access to was somebody's actual record's name on me scratching it up, even though it sounded awesome. Like, stop, you gonna mess up that record. I'm like, ugh. But I want to do this. I want to see how it sounds. It's fun. Of course, you don't let kids mess up records, but probably could have learned how to DJ a lot sooner if somebody would let me, but so there's that. And I've that first event I got booked for like 3 parties in the following months, and then I just do like 4 or 5 live DJ events per year now. It's kind of cool. And his wedding was like the first time I DJ'd a wedding, and then control the audio for the ceremony too. So audio engineering is kind of one of my little small tricks up my sleeve, like this podcast obviously. So yeah, the next thing, growing up as a band geek, I learned to play several instruments and kind of taught myself a couple. One of which that I kind of taught myself, keyword kind of taught myself, is piano. So like usually when there's a piano around, and I'll just like jump on it for a second and play like a couple songs and like halfway try to sing with it, because I can't sing and play the piano at the same time yet. I haven't figured that out yet.
You're not John Legend?
I'm not John Legend. I do not claim to be John Legend. But, I can hit some chords and, play, strike a couple notes and then hit a couple notes, with the vocals at the same time. I'm not coordinated enough to do both, honestly. There's like a couple spots where I can get it right, but, it's also been a very long time since I've touched the piano. So I'm probably dramatically rusty. So if you see me somewhere, do not ask me to. I'll try, but don't expect a lot. Speaking of which, along that same musical talent line, I learned to make beats at a very young age. This is actually a funny story. So I'm in like the probably 7th or 8th grade, right? I was in band still. It was like my 2nd or 3rd year in band. And we got a phone call from like a random bill collector. I don't think it was actual bill collector, but like some spam phone calls. And they were like, so they called, my mom was still at work. I answered the phone. They were like, hi, can we speak to blah, blah, blah? And I was like, She's not here right now. Can I take a message? And he was like, yeah, this is blah, 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 blah. And we're calling about blah, 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 blah. I think they're trying to sell something. And they're like, man, that's who I'm speaking with. And I was just like, oh, yeah, sure. You're speaking with, don't know what I said, but I broke out into a freestyle describing myself or some elaborate version of myself and hung up. Right. The guy calls back and was like, hey, was that a freestyle? Did you write that or what? That sounded pretty good. I was like, oh, really? Thanks. Sure, I was trying to like be a smart ass at first, and then dude called back with compliments. He was like, hey, so do you make your own beats? And I was like, no. He's like, hey, download a trial version of FL Studio. It's called Fruity Loops or FL Studio.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, sure, thanks. And I don't know if the guy ever called back again to sell us whatever he was trying to sell or collect whatever bill, but I literally hung up, got on the computer, downloaded FL Studio, and spent the next like 6 months of my life playing with it. After a while, I was literally rapping on my own beats. So rapping and singing and making beats for other people. So a lot of people don't know that about me, but I have several of my own songs that I haven't released anywhere yet. And I've been working on that. I was supposed to actually release a mixtape recently, but my computer crashed and I have to get another one. And I haven't had time to do that yet. So yeah, if anybody, got a decent Windows computer for sale so I can download Fruity Loops and keep working on that, let me know. A lot of people don't know that I both rap and sing. I'm actually featured on a couple people's albums and other projects right now. Go on Tidal and Spotify and Apple Music and download The Eighth Day by Mike Day. I am featured on that album. I have vocals there, so check out me harmonizing. I sound pretty good. Singing choirs at church. Pretty much every church I've ever attended, I've sang in a choir at some point. So yeah, a lot of people don't know.
Weren't you in Buy Back the Block too?
Yeah, Buy Back the Block is the album I was talking about. Go download Buy Back the Block.
I mean, download Eighth Day too, but it's
download the Eighth Day too. But Buy Back the Block is the album that I was featured on. I think I was around for something during the Eighth Day, but I have vocals on Buy Back the Block and in the documentary too. I don't know if the documentary is available yet because you gotta have VIP access for that. But go on Tidal, Buy Back the Block, download that, check out my man Mike Day, and listen to me too. So yeah. What else? Mentioned before, I'm a professional kickball player in a recreational adult league. I'm the professional. Everybody else is recreational. And in high school, did a little bit of thespianism. I don't know if that's the right term, but yeah, I acted in a stage play once. Long story short version, hanging around after school one day, the drama teacher comes out and she sees me sitting in the cafeteria just waiting on somebody. She's like, hey, are you auditioning? I'm like, for what? She was like, the play. I was like, sure. She had seen me in talent shows before and, thought I'd be a good fit for the play. So I was like, sure, I'll audition. So I hung around. I was still waiting on somebody anyway. I go in and like, here, read this line. I was like, okay, read the line. Like, sing a song. I'm like, doesn't matter what song. They're like, no, just sing anything. I was like, okay, cool. Walked out. That was it. So the next morning, I get like 16 text messages at like 7:30. I'm like, why is my phone blowing up? I'm just not waking up. Why is my phone blowing up? Everybody's texting me like, how'd you get the lead? I'm like, the lead what? I forgot I even auditioned for that thing, right? Why was I the first ever Black Troy Bolton in High School Musical in a live stage? Sold out all 3 nights and sold out an encore night. So very proud of that. I have yet to return to the stage, but I would like to one day. So
you should definitely do it.
So what are your hidden talents that people don't always know about?
I'm not an accomplished quilter, although I would love to learn how to knit or sew one day.
Wait till you're like 80, because that's for old ladies.
A lot of young people knit.
It's like, yeah, that's cool.
And sew.
That's awesome. But the sewing part could be cool because you can like alter my pants or my suits.
Right. Now all of a sudden cool. It's handy.
Yeah, but I don't want you to be like knitting sweaters until we have grandkids. You feel me?
No, I don't. But thanks.
Or you can knit at least knit something cool.
Like what?
Like a beer koozie or something.
Or a scarf.
Yeah, but not like the kind of look like you knitted it,
Okay.
Like,
anyway, back to my hidden talents. Yeah, I'm struggling with this because I'm not really talented.
Stop lying.
I'm not. So one thing I will say, which I think I've mentioned this before, is a lot of people are surprised when I sing. I'm not saying that I am a good singer or that I can sing. Like I wouldn't say I'm a singer, But
Like, I don't want you hanging out with this lady is what I'm saying.
okay, whatever. But when I sing at church or like randomly at work or different places, people are like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, I was just playing around or like didn't know people were listening, you know, like I don't know. So it's just kind of weird because when people always ask me if I sing, and my answer is always only in the shower.
Y'all, she be killing the shower though.
I love singing in the shower because you know how I am. Like, I will convince myself to like something if I know that there are health benefits. So, for instance, I convinced myself to like blueberries, kale.
Hey, kale go hard if you do it right.
Like
but
a lot of different things. But anyway, I found this thing that basically talked about how singing is good for your immune system. It's a natural antidepressant. It lowers your stress levels, improves mental alertness.
Stress levels.
Shut up. So anyway, different things, a lot of benefits from singing. And so when I found that, let me stop. My mom used to sing in the shower. She still does. I don't know why I said used to. But when I was a kid, she sang in the shower a lot. And so that's part of why I do too. But it is very therapeutic. And I just sometimes get in the mood for it. But also, if I feel myself getting sick, then I will sing in the shower because it's allegedly really good for your immune system. But yeah, so I love singing, but I am not like the type to like, I don't know, like I could not imagine myself doing a solo or anything like that. But I don't even know. I was in the choir when I was younger, loved it, would like to be in the choir again, but I just can't, I don't know, imagine.
We manage the social media for our current church, so we don't really have time to be in the choir, or we at least haven't, figured out how to do both.
Right, because we're supposed to be documenting the choir. Anyway, so there's that people tend to be surprised by. I'm a freestyle champ.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a freestyle champ.
Yeah, she is.
I'm a freestyle champ.
Man, hold up.
Okay.
Yo, this takes me by surprise every time I open that. I'm just like, oh, like I ain't hating. It's just
we're doing a show.
I know. I'm just, yo, shout out to Lizzo be eating. Carry on.
Okay. So don't ask me to freestyle because I won't. I don't do it on command. I only do it sometimes when the spirit moves me. It's very sporadic, but I have done it before, mostly in college, and people are always like, oh, like I'm really good at thinking on my feet sometimes. It's kind of like my bowling. Like I can either get a strike or a gutter ball. So, it's hit or miss with the freestyling. I am also a poet, and a lot of people don't know it. I used to write a lot of poetry when I was younger, in high school and in college. I must admit, I don't do it so much now. When we first started dating, man, poetry just...
We used to write poems to each other.
It was flowing out of me.
Why don't we do that anymore?
I don't know. I stopped because I was like, it's your turn. And then I just haven't picked it up lately. But
well, if it was my turn, I started writing something and just never finished it because I got distracted. So you got to stay on me about that kind of thing.
It's definitely your turn.
All right, cool. I got you.
But yeah, I write poetry.
Stop hitting the mic.
Sorry. I write poetry, and I'm a bit of a wordsmith. I love poetry. When I was younger, I used to read more poetry. And like with any type of writing, the more you read, the better writer you are. The more you read poetry, the better poet you are. I'm a jingle extraordinaire.
Yeah, you are.
Very good jingle writer. They flow out of me as well. I wanted to be a jingle writer when I was a kid. Like if you remember the Jamie Foxx show where he was a jingle writer.
Jingle 2000.
I thought, man, that's the coolest job. I want that job. But then I thought about it and I was like, okay, what if one day you don't have, like, you just lose your job? Kind of like I wanted to do ads, which is very similar to jingle writing, but like just coming up with commercial ads as well. But then I was like, sometimes I have really great ideas. Sometimes I have nothing.
It's like it seems like you can't do it intentionally.
I can't,
but it just hits you.
It does,
and you got to let it out.
I do,
and when you do let it out, it's absolute fire.
When I was in undergrad, for my sorority, and like we did flyers and stuff as well, but we tried to think of ways to advertise for our events and programs that were creative that other people weren't doing, because you can ignore a flyer, but we would come up with jingles, and literally, man, sometimes those jingles just pop into my head and I can't get, I mean, I'm just like, what a wonderful, I wish I could find a way to monetize it, because it definitely happens a lot of times where I just come over and stuff, people are like, wow, where did that come from? Like, I don't know.
You'd be surprising me, and I know you.
I will also say acting. I was in a couple plays in high school, one act play, and Pink Panther. I had a bunch of roles in Pink Panther, so I was pretty legit. I think I had like 4 or 5 roles. And then I've been like in a few commercials and stuff as well. So I think that's it. I don't really have any interesting hidden talents. I wish I did.
I think those are all interesting.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. You're also not terrible at 2K.
Thanks. That okay? Yeah, I think that would be. I will call that a hidden talent, because people don't expect me to be able to play
like you're
2K.
It's not a. It wouldn't seem like a personality trait for you to be into.
Because I just casually mentioned it in conversation one time, and someone was like, "Wait, what?
Yeah,
you play 2K?" I'm like, "Yeah."
It's not that girls don't play 2K,
it's,
but
for me,
you don't look like you play 2K.
No, I don't.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And she is actually capable of beating me.
It has happened.
It doesn't happen much.
It hasn't happened recently, and it's really bothering me.
Like she had me one
really
game,
close.
and then I came back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it was really close.
Yeah, and she has beat me at least like 6 times out of the probably a few hundred that we've played. That's probably an exaggeration, probably like a couple hundred. But yeah, there was one time where she had a streak. She beat me like 3 times in a row, and I was like, okay, what the hell's going on here?
You thought your controller was broken?
No, there really is a problem with it.
I know,
it's like
I'm just messing
certain
with you.
spots. Yeah.
Our next question is from Archie, and Archie wants to know: do we prefer a phone call or a text?
All right, so nowadays I prefer a text, simply because I have my moments where talking on the phone gives me anxiety. And there's moments where I'm way too much of an introvert to say words to other humans. But if it's super important, by all means, call me. But if it's like, hey, what time are you going to be at the thing tonight? Text me that. Don't call me, because I might be driving. I will not look at my phone while I'm driving. I won't. Because the way I drive, I need to be focused. Right? And I'll read it when I stop. Even though I'm in the car and I can just press the button on my steering wheel to answer the phone, I'd rather not. So yeah, just text me and I'll get back to you ASAP. Don't call me, please. And I hate the fact that I'm an entrepreneur, so my phone rings for business purposes. So at that point, I gotta answer the phone. I can't complain about that. But if it's just like, if you want to say hi, that's fine. But don't just be like, hey, you said you did X, Y, and Z, right? I was like, yeah. Especially if there's no point to the conversation. If you just saying a few random words without any point or validity, it's just like, text me that.
I wish more people understood that each medium of communication has its purpose. So my best friends, okay, and I guess forgive me if I forget anyone, but I'm gonna name names.
Go for it.
Kia, Camille, Michelle.
You got more best friends.
I have more best friends than that. But those 3 in particular, we can talk easily for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And at that level, obviously, it's too much to text. And I do text them, but sometimes it gets to the point where it's like, I need to hear their voice. I need an immediate reaction. I want them to hear my inflection. I got to tell a story. Like, girl, that's you are not going to believe. Like, that kind of conversation, it needs to be a phone call. Like, sometimes I'll forget to tell them something because I didn't want to text it, because I need the back and forth banter of our friendship.
And the context isn't worth texting. The backstory, all of that.
But hey, what time are you going to such and such? hey, have you ever eaten at such and such a restaurant? That's a text. I'm sorry.
If it's not
get off
if
my
it's
phone.
not an emergency, if you're not coming up on the exit and you need to call me to figure out which one it is, don't just text me. Because if you are at the house and you need to know which exit it is before you leave the house, yeah, text
Call
me. And I'll text you. I'll tell you. I'm like, yeah, take exit 86. But if you on the road and you're at exit 84 and you can't remember if the exit is 85 or 86, then call me.
Yeah. So if it's an emergency, or if you got a story, or we know it needs to be like our weekly or monthly catch up, that's a phone call.
If you need to vent.
If you need to vent,
please, yeah,
call me.
By all means, call.
If you're upset, yes, like friends, that's a phone call. But
yeah,
a real quick question,
right? Like if you're in trouble, you need help, you need to talk, you need to vent, that kind of stuff.
Call me anytime.
But don't just be like,
hey. Because I'm gonna be like, can I help you with something?
What's up?
What's going on?
Because I'm usually focused on something.
Yes, I'm usually not in the mood to talk, so there's that.
Right.
So yeah,
we're both social introverts. My bio on Instagram for one of my accounts, the account that I don't use for public stuff, literally says the most introverted extrovert you'll ever meet.
Same.
So
I'm the most extroverted introvert you'll ever meet.
That's true.
Okay, so here's the thing. If I text you, don't call me. Oh, I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. And I'm not going to name names of who does that. But I can't stand it. And it's like, okay, if I'm texting you, it's probably because I'm like half asleep or about to go to sleep, or I'm watching Grays or something on TV. Like I am in my PJs. I'm not in the mood to talk.
Right. I'm usually doing something where I can text you while I'm doing that, but talking would cause me to have to like stop everything.
And just because I'm on social media does not mean I'm free to talk.
Oh my goodness. That's not the same thing.
And it doesn't mean I'm up.
Right. Because you fall asleep with your phone in your hand a lot.
Like it takes me an hour.
Like your thumb be on the screen so the screen doesn't turn off unless you still sleep.
It takes me an hour to get to sleep. So that means I'm scrolling through social media, even though I know it's bad for you. I'm scrolling through social media before I go to bed. So I'm sleepy. I'm about to fall asleep. So don't call me. So yeah.
Oh, you can tweet, but you can't answer the phone.
Yeah, actually, quite
because
literally.
I'm not saying words when I'm tweeting or listening to anything else.
Exactly. I can also tweet.
I'm moving my thumbs
and be on Facebook and Instagram when I'm sick. Bruh. I have people where I'm on social media and they will call me while I'm sick, and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm not feeling well. Oh, I just saw you post such a. Yep, you sure did.
Yeah, because that required literally the movement of my thumb.
Quite capable.
Or if I'm on my laptop, a couple of fingers.
Quite capable.
That's not the hard thing to do. However, if I'm sick, I'm not coming to work and to contaminate the whole office and all of the people who visit the office. Because what sense does that make?
And I'm not in the mood to talk on the phone and have a full conversation if I'm sick.
Exactly. You're trying to rest. You're trying to relax.
Yeah.
Because if you got a sore throat, you ain't trying to say nothing.
Yeah. So
I
had a lot of people
make me some soup.
I had a lot of people that tried to call me while I was sick, and I was just like, I'm texting you. Like, and I think it's because I sound normal when I text. Like, I'm not one of those people to post on social media or text people, be like, I'm going through this, and this, and I'm struggling, and I've been.
Yeah, I'm not the type to post pictures.
Like, I just post like normal when I'm sick or sleepy or upset.
I'm not gonna post my cup of Theraflu.
No.
Talking about some sick vibes.
No. The only thing I did when I was sick this last time was I tweeted that meme about how you take for granted the one nostril you can breathe out of. That's real. But yeah, so text versus call. I prefer text, but there are certain scenarios where a phone call is needed. So sometimes you just need to hear certain people's voice.
Right, like if I ain't talked to Herschel or Harris or Jamel or somebody like that in a long time and we need to catch up, yeah.
Yeah.
But at least, let me know that you're planning on calling me so I can clear my schedule and sit down and talk to you and listen. If it's an emergency, I absolutely will drop stuff and do that. But in most cases, it's not an emergency.
You know what I can't stand?
What?
I'm not going to name names on this either. I can't stand when people text me and be like, call me when you get a chance.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Because I need to know, is this an emergency? Or is this hey, I want to talk to you whenever you're free?
A chance could, like, with what we just described, how we feel about talking on the phone, a chance could literally be next week.
It could definitely be next week.
And if it's time sensitive, say that.
Yeah, I need you to say, hey, this is an emergency. Or hey, this is serious.
And if you must, and here's my biggest pet peeve, is when somebody will call and they just straight start talking. Not, what are you doing? Are you free to talk? Are you busy?
True.
Do you have a minute? They should be like, hey, yeah, so let me tell you what happened, blah, 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 blah. So I'm walking down the thing, and I'm literally walking with food in my hand in the hot sun. I'm trying to get my keys out of my pocket to open my car door. And I'm trying to, it's a struggle. There's a lot of times when I won't answer the phone, and I'll just text you and be like, hey, what's up? What's up means, is it an emergency? Is there something you need immediately? Or you just got something funny to story that you want to text me real quick?
I need to know the context.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way for your phone to tell you ahead of time. Like,
I promise we love y'all.
This person is about to ruin your day with some drama. Or this person has a funny story. Check it out. Or this person is really upset. They need you. Like,
because then if I feel bad if I say, hey, I can't talk right now. Oh, you busy, huh?
Right.
Yes.
And then you get the
comma. And then yes, I am.
And then you get the you always busy. That's why I don't call you.
Well, would you want me to just be sitting around doing nothing?
Just waiting on your call. That wraps up our questions for this week. Send us some questions. It could be something like that last one, either or, this or that. We want to hear from you, and you can send those to askttrl@gmail.com. I definitely just stole this or that from Liz and Kev on stage. That's what they call theirs.
I'm fine with that. Shout out to them.
I love them. I haven't caught up on their podcast yet because the one that I left off at was about This Is Us, and we're not caught up on This Is Us yet.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to get to the Beth and Randall episode before I listen to that. Even though I had a friend tell me that we didn't
don't say
have
nothing.
to.
Don't. Okay.
That you didn't have to see the episode to understand the podcast. But you know me, I want to. So I'm going to wait till we catch up before I catch up on theirs. Anyway, point is, moving right along to our love life advice of the week, or our little quick tip for those of you in a relationship, hoping to be in a relationship, or in an imaginary relationship.
Or a situationship.
Here is your advice. And that advice for this week is, do you, boo?
Do you, boo?
Like, literally, that's my takeaway from going to those weddings this weekend, because each wedding was different and unique in its own way. Beautiful. Both were beautiful, but they were different. And it just reminded me that our relationship is ours. And as much as I am super, super grateful, I don't want anyone listening to stop giving me advice. I'm very grateful for all the advice. But there comes a point when you're engaged where all the advice is a bit overwhelming.
So overwhelming.
And so this weekend of going to the weddings reminded me that, like, our wedding is going to be perfect and beautiful, not because it's perfect or beautiful, because I'm sure something will go wrong, but it will be perfect and beautiful because it's just us. Like, we've been together 6 years. We've known each other, 20 years? 21 years?
We met in the 4th grade.
And so, we have to, like, make this wedding our own, make this relationship our own, make our marriage our own. And it's not going to be like anybody else's. And that's scary, but it's also really cool. Mm-hmm. Because some things that we do don't work for other people, and some things that work for other people don't work for us.
Right.
And I think we've done a great job over these last 6 years of just kind of keeping our blinders on and staying focused on each other and not letting outside forces shake us or break us. And right. I really want us to remember that in this wedding planning process, that, the whole do you, boo? Like, we need to do what makes us happy, what works for us. The food, decor, music, all the little details is going to be just fine, because if I know my mama and your mama,
you do,
and my sister,
and your sister, and your niece,
they not going to let us have a tacky wedding.
They are not.
They're not going to let anything looking crazy.
Absolutely not.
Man, I told my sister the other day that I'm not really worried about the wedding because I know if we don't decorate nothing and don't plan nothing, at the end of the day, my big sister is such a big sister that she will, the day of, with my mama and your mama, go hit up Target and Hobby Lobby and Kohl's and throw something together. And it will look amazing.
My mom was really good at that.
Yep.
Your mom, I've seen her do it. Literally witnessed it. Like, she's a nurse, so she got off work, came home with decorations and dinner, and we were eating like 4 hours later.
Yep.
Like, houseway.
She worked miracles. And my mom and my sister have both playing several events and weddings. Your mom is playing several events. I just, like, the stuff your mom sent me from your little brother's birthday party. I was like, wow. All right, wedding's gonna be fine. Because I mean, yeah, like, we have so many people in our corner who are gonna make sure everything's on point. I'm not saying I'm not gonna do anything. Obviously, I'm gonna do stuff, but I just want to remember that at the end of the day, it's about us. It's about the rest of our lives. And my favorite quote is like, after Saturday, Sunday, you know what comes?
Whoa.
Monday.
Ain't that the truth?
After this beautiful wedding, we go back to our normal, regular lives. And so all the little details are important, but they don't matter.
Right. Because the only thing I really care about this wedding is that you show up and say I do when you're asked. And that's it. That's all I care about.
You don't want me to run away?
I do not.
I can't do this.
I do not want you to run away. Because if you decide after all this time that you can't do this,
right,
then I'm like, okay, well, this was fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
You're just gonna embarrass me in front of all my friends and family, huh?
No, you gonna embarrass me for talking about you can't do it. I'm gonna be standing there at the altar.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. That's what you're gonna be thinking.
Oh yeah. You're just gonna really. I done spoke so highly of you to all of these people, and they're here to see us.
Look.
And you can't do it.
Look.
Really? All right.
Yeah. No, I'll show up and say the appropriate responses. And I hope you do too.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
That's all I really care about.
The cool thing about weddings is like you sign the paperwork before the actual ceremony. So the ceremony is just
for everybody else's entertainment. Right. And then my quick tip with that is when you're giving someone advice, I always use my quick tip to respond to her quick tip. But when you're giving somebody advice, don't assume that they can't think for themselves. Don't be overbearing with your advice. You know, offer a suggestion, but don't try to make it law. You know, it's like the reason why I'm saying this is like, yes, we do appreciate everybody being excited for us. We absolutely love it. But at the same time, there's like several people keep hitting us with the exact same thing every time they see us. I'm like, I don't know yet. We ain't got that far yet, and we're working on it. It's like, okay, you making it sound like we're not gonna get married if we can't answer this right now. That's not the case. Relax, everybody. We got it. I promise. I promise.
Also, different strokes for different folks.
Different strokes for different folks. It's like you can't assume that we haven't looked for anything yet. It's like you don't need to tell us about every single thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let me tell y'all where to go to get flowers. I'm like, no, we got that under control. Thanks. It's like, oh, y'all got a photographer? Yes, of course we have a photographer. We're 2 photographers and we've got a photographer. We know exactly who.
It's all coming from a good place.
It's coming from a great place and we appreciate it.
And I'm going to tell you, some of it is like, oh, thank you. I needed that.
Y'all looked at this venue? That was the first place we looked at.
Yeah. Some of it is, yeah. But
it's like, y'all need to get this person to cater. I'm like, well, the venue that we're likely going to pick might not let us bring outside caterers, but I appreciate it. And we had already spoken to that person as well.
Yeah. But
it's rough. And again, we do love each and every one of the people that's excited for us.
Everyone's excited for us and
we're excited too
to help us. And I don't want anyone to stop giving us advice or helping us because you might mention something that we hadn't thought of.
Right. Because at some point you may very well.
But my just reminder for myself and for anyone else is like, you know, just because someone gives you advice doesn't mean you have to follow it. They're just giving you a suggestion because we've gotten so many pieces of advice that I couldn't possibly go with all of them. And I am that type of person. If someone recommends a venue, I want to like book it. Like,
yeah. And see, when I offer people suggestions, I'm like, hey, well, let me know if you need blah blah blah. I know some people I can show you, I can introduce you to, rather than trying to force my opinion on somebody. Yeah. But as again, it's all coming from a place of love, and we do appreciate it. It's just like we appreciate y'all listening to this show.
Yes.
So
thanks for listening and tuning in every week.
This will wrap up this very episode. Man, we almost hit 20 episodes. Shout out to us for being consistent. This is 17.
Is it really?
Yes.
Wow. That's awesome.
Every single week. You get a new episode every Thursday.
Yes. So if you are just now tuning in, feel free to go back and listen to old episodes so you can kind of hear a little bit more of our story. You can listen anywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can also follow us online. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We started a Facebook finally. Yes, at This Is TTRL, Tara Talks Ryan Listens. And so you can just check it out at any of those mediums. Feel free to like, share, comment, post. And if you like our podcast, tell someone else about it. Absolutely. Please share. Of course, don't be like, y'all need to listen to Tara Talks Ryan Listen. Just say, hey, Tara Talks Ryan Listen is a pretty good show. Just check it out. Just like that. And if there is something in particular you want us to cover, feel free to let us know and we'll think about adding that in. Take it under advisement, if you will. But again, thanks for listening, and we hope you have a fabulous week. Do something nice for somebody. Follow us on our personal Instagrams. Mine is THERY_C as in man, hold up. It's the Ricey. And mine is TCAR_examiner. And ta-ta. Peace.